Hey everyone, this is Dylan, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review for you guys. So the movie I'm reviewing today is The Ruins. This movie was released on April 4th, 2008. It was directed by Carter Smith, and one of the producers on this movie was actually Ben Stiller. It stars Jonathan Tucker as Jeff, Jenna Malone as Amy, Shawn Ashmore as Eric, and Laura Ramsey as Stacy. It is available to stream on HBO Max if you are interested in watching it. It's not the unrated cut. It is the theatrical cut, so be aware of that. This movie had a budget of $8 million, and at the box office it made $22.3 million, which is pretty low. I would have expected this to do a lot better. But let's get into what this movie is about. So we have our main group of friends. They are Jeff, Amy, Stacy, and Eric. So they're on vacation in Mexico. Meet another guest at the resort who is German, and he tells them about this Mayan temple. His brother went there with an archaeologist girl that he had met, and he hadn't come back yet, but he was gonna go and kind of just see what it was all about and all that, and he wanted to see if they wanted to come. And so they agree, and the next morning they head off to this Mayan temple. And it's like a real trek. They have to take like a taxi to get there. They find that the trail that they were supposed to go to has been covered up, and they were like, well, let's just go anyway. So they get to this temple, and the temple is very large, happens to be covered with vines and everything like that. Some of it's kind of off onto the ground. And we then have one of the locals come, and the locals don't speak English. The group of college kids don't understand what they're saying, but they're trying to explain that they're looking for this guy's brother, and all while this is happening, Amy accidentally backs up into the vines, and that's kind of what sets this local off. He grabs a gun, and he basically starts to threaten them, and there's another guy that's with them who was another guest at the resort, and the guy was like, come on, let's just chill, and he ends up getting shot with an arrow and then also shot in the head. So he dies. The group is freaking out, so they run up the ruins, and then they realize that they're stuck up there. And they don't have a cell phone because Mateus has given the cell phone to the locals to show the picture of his brother, and the other people's cell phones do not work. Once they get up to the top of the ruins, there are like tents where you can see that people have been there before and everything like that. But then they hear a phone ring, and the phone is ringing from inside the temple ruins itself. Nobody is answering like calls for their name or anything, so Mateus is like, I'll go down there and try to find this phone. So Jeff and Eric are lowering him down, and the rope breaks, and Mateus falls. He falls a long way, and they end up sending Stacy down to try to help him. And when they get down, Stacy realizes that he's broken his back because he cannot feel his legs. And so there's like this big orchestration of getting Amy down there too, so that they can lift him up and get him up onto the top of this ruins and figure out what they're gonna do because they can't go get help. And when Stacy went down there, she actually got cut because she had landed on the lamp that she was having, and it broke, and there was a piece of glass in her leg. Once they get Mateus up onto the top of the ruins, everything's good. They're trying to figure out what's going on, and then the next morning happens, and that's where things start to go downhill. And so Stacy wakes up and she realizes something's wrong, and she uncovers her leg, and her leg is covered in vines, and inside of the cut that she has, a vine has gotten inside of it. And so they freak out, they're pulling, and then this also kind of causes Mateus to be like, something's not right, I need to see my legs. And they show Mateus's legs, and they have been kind of eaten away. His bone is completely exposed, which was not like that before, and the vines are covering them. And they decide that they need to amputate his legs. And that's where I'm going to stop this synopsis. It's definitely as crazy as it seems. And so let's talk about the things that I liked about this movie. I liked the practical effects. The leg scene in particular was very good. And then we also have the practical effects of Stacy and having her issues with all the vines. And it just looks very good. There is CGI in this because we have the vines moving and things like that, because obviously vines don't move that fast. And I thought that the performances by all of the actors was stellar. It was so good. And I would definitely recommend checking this out if you have not seen it. And I really didn't have anything that I didn't like about this, because I just thought that it was so good. The body horror was crazy, and this is a lot more realistic, and it made for a very good movie. So now that we heard what I thought about this movie, let's talk about what other people thought of this movie. On Letterboxd, it has a 2.8 out of 5. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 48% critic score and a 30% audience score. And on IMDb, it has a 5.9 out of 10. And so those scores are a little lower than I was expecting. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought that it turned out very good and would definitely recommend that you guys check it out. So in the comments down below, let me know what you think about The Ruins, if you've seen it, whether you like it or you don't like it, and why. And if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to be, please hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like if you liked it. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Bye.